Hey guys, welcome back to Final Fantasy Online. This is Fate, your host, and we are in the next dungeon line successions. Now, I did start this intro a little earlier. I did have this all set up, but unfortunately, I messed up. I apologize. But here we are into this game. Oh, thank you guys for joining me. Here is the next line succession. This is, of course, the dungeon. It's the next in line from the ones that we've done before. It's the 1000 Maws of Toto-Rak. This video is going to be a little different. I did have one previously done, but I did notice that I did not record my mic. I am so sorry, I did not do that. But here we are in this next dungeon. So we do have an additional skill before since our last one. We are level 27 now. Of course, the higher level means you have more skills you can use. So the next skill that we have here is the Power Slash skill. That is the addition from Spinning Slash. So it is a tank skill, increases your aggro control on your enemies, and of course it does a little bit more damage since it is a combo skill. So I'll show you guys right here once we get right into it. Of course, still do your basic unleash, unmen into unleash to get your crowd control. So here is a succession of skills you're going to use. You're going to start off with Hard Slash. You can go right into Spinning Slash, and then you can do your Power Slash, which is the third skill. So this dungeon is a little bit different from the other dungeons. There's a lot more you have to do. If you guys remember in the last video I did, the boss in the last dungeon, you actually had to pull him into where the bombards are, and then you're supposed to have them explode on him, and then of course he splits up because he was a slime boss. He splits up into other pieces and actually makes him easier to kill. In this dungeon we have something similar to that, except we're collecting those magical cell things you saw earlier. This is not what we're supposed to be. Oh wow. Okay, so I thought those people around me. That was an empty skill. So yeah, this dungeon is a little different. This is of course the side path you can take to get your treasure coffer. You do not need to go down this path, but if you do want the treasure, you want the items, say you're level 27, you need better gear, this is a path you can take to actually get that. So here we are in the basic combo. Remember, you do your Hard Slash first into Spinning Slash to get your aggro control, and then you have our third skill, which is Power Slash, which is really awesome. It is a lot more helpful, it does a lot more aggro. Well, in this game it's called Enmity. Increases that more, so you actually gain better control with your, with the enemies that you're fighting. So we are going to get this treasure coffer since we're already here. And of course we grabbed one of those photo cell things. Those magic photo cell things, what it's called. I don't remember. Anyways, so we're supposed to be getting those. That's actually how you unlock the gates to fight the bosses. So that's what we're going to be doing. This dungeon is a little bit longer too. There's a lot of different paths you have to take. But yeah, so glad you guys are here to join me. I do apologize for I'm not going to be able to have the video on this one. Usually have the intro name, but you guys know what it's about. This is the 1000 Maws of Toto-Rak, which I will put in the description in this video below here, so you can look there, and I'll have it written for you. So I do apologize, guys. I did have this done earlier. I'm not a professional at all at this business. This is all purely strictly for fun. So I'm gonna make a few mistakes here and there. Anyways, you're not here to listen to me gloat about messed up videos. You're just here to watch me fight. See this dungeon. Should have thought I grabbed them earlier. I guess I missed it. Anyways, so one thing do take into consideration, guys, that when you do fight these dungeons, they are going to be a little bit more difficult the more you progress into the storyline. Meaning like the boss is going to be different, the enemies are going to be a lot different. Magic photo, so that's what that thing's called, sorry. I was looking for the name. So as you progress, the complexity of the dungeons increase with it. Like this, you're going to have a lot more enemies to control. Enemies are going to have a lot more skills they're going to be able to do on you. So you want to keep that in mind as you're fighting them. The area effect skills are going to be a lot more broader now. A lot more enemies are going to be having those skills as you're fighting them. So just be careful with what you're doing. This is a tank class. This is Dark Knight, in case you guys are wondering if you didn't know already. So this is a tank-based character. So I'll be doing most of the aggro control as I talk about, and basically the way I do it as I play this game. Please know, guys, this is not a player's guide. This is just me showing you the way I do it. So if you have any questions, or if you want me to do more specific videos, I'll be more than willing to do them. Just let me know in the comments below. But anyways, enough of me talking. We're getting to this fights right now. Get these guys going. Now this does feel a little bit better for me, because I was kind of iffy about my previous video. I know I did mess up on the intro on this one. I didn't hit record fast enough. So that was my mistake. But the last dungeon I was actually running, this one with a group of people, it didn't feel very smooth. It was very sporadic, rushed, not be able to get a lot in because our healer was just running off into the void and drawing all the attention of the enemies. I didn't really get a chance to actually stop and actually tank. It was just me running in, spamming the crap out of my Unleash. Like, here's a treasure coffer. Spamming Unleash, not being able to pick these up either. Like, it was just so wonky, sporadic. It didn't feel like it had any attention put into it. It was just really off. So I'm actually kind of happy that I'm doing a second video on this, just because I'll be able to do what I wanted to do. Because that last video, I'm telling you, it was so rushed. It did not feel good at all. I felt iffy just even uploading it onto YouTube. But then I always just click my video just to look at it, and I noticed, I'm like, wait, there's no voice. I was just like, oh no, I didn't record myself. You know, we all make mistakes. But anyways, so this is the first boss. Coral, Ninetales, whatever that means. Anyways, he's not very hard at all. Just what you want to do is just get control, face him away from your team, as you should do as a tank fighting a boss. Have him faced away. He's very simple, so yeah, you just beat him real quick. And then he drops that. So this one is actually all classes. Looks like a mage type armament, boots, whatever you want to call it. Oh, okay, yeah. So those Magitek photo cells are the things you have to use to unlock the gates. Did I miss? Oh man, I missed. Oh well, I still got him. So yeah, so that last video, I'm actually kind of happy I'm doing this second one. It was very sporadic, rushed. It did not feel smooth at all. So here we are into this, guys. So in case you guys are wondering, Power Slash is actually a level 24 skill. You do get it at level 24. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. If you're playing Dark Knight, you should have it when you play, because you actually start at level 30 when you get Dark Knight, because you have to do a series of quests to be able to do it. Is there anything over here? I don't think so. No, there's nothing there. Okay. So as a Dark Knight, that's what you have to do. You get it at level 30 and you get all these skills, so you should already have it. But anyways, it is a level 24 skill, so we are able to use it. Thankfully, I have more skills instead of using the same ones over and over and over again. So these guys are slime pudding dudes. They look really weird. I always thought they looked weird anyways. I call them pudding, I don't know why. Maybe they derived from pudding. Maybe they're magical pudding, I don't know. This is my imagination. I don't know. That's kind of dorky thing to say. But anyways. I think these puddings have always been in the game. I think from the early Final Fantasy series, if I remember my lore correctly. And it has been quite some time since I played Final Fantasy 1. If you guys want to see me play Final Fantasy 1, let me know in the description below and I'll get it. Or any game you guys want to see me play, I will get it. Start playing it. Just let me know. Anyway, so this one, this little area is kind of broad, so make sure you spam your skill a lot. You don't want your team to be swamped with enemies. So this is with Power Slash in your arsenal, you're actually going to be dealing a lot more damage than you normally do. Just because as a combination skill connection, the more combinations you do, the more damage you're going to be dealing. So with a third combo, you're actually be dealing a good chunk of damage. So this is gonna be a little bit easier for you. Oh, but look, we got an item. Nice. Wait, that wasn't an item. That's an effect. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, well, yeah, talking about combination skills. The more skills, the combinations you combine together, you do more damage. It's kind of like a progressive build-up. So keep that in mind. Now, I do want to say one thing. Anticipation is a skill you will be able to get at level 24. So that's actually a bonus armament skill that you should be able to achieve. I say that because I don't really use it. I try not to use them because you only obtain them as you progress through the game. And anticipation is one of them, but this one isn't. So it's a bonus skill that actually you can take over no matter what class you are. It's like a neutral tank skill. So just keep that in mind. I try not to use them, and when I do use them, I will let you guys know why I'm doing it, you know, for certain reasons. So like anticipation increases your parry rate, which is actually really good for Dark Knight since we don't use a shield, so we don't have block. So that's a good thing to have if you want to use Dark Knight, since most of our deflecting and blocking is done with our sword, which is called parrying. And parrying basically means you use your weapon to kind of like deflect an attack. So if you don't know what that is, look, that's a treasure coffer. See, I didn't even get to do this in the last video. Like, I didn't get to show you where the treasure coffers were, which kind of made me really upset. But anyways, this dungeon is oh, you have to jump. Okay, you have to jump right there. This dungeon is slightly longer than the other dungeon was. Only a little bit. At least it feels longer because you're actually running more. I could be wrong, could be all the same. Again, don't quote me on anything, I'm not a professional. One thing about this dungeon is the enemies are a little bit different. As you notice, this guy has an area effect, but he's also a stagnant enemy. Stagnant enemies only stay in one spot, and they're kind of most of the time they're generally ranged enemies. So you kind of want to, like, if you're fighting enemies that can move around, you kind of want to pull them towards the stagnant one. Okay, I missed that one, sorry. You want to pull them towards the stagnant one and have them facing all towards you, not your team, because stagnant enemies, they can do a lot of damage, and since they're not moving, you don't really have a lot of crowd control on them, especially if you're not hitting them. You have to run up and hit them. So just keep that in mind. You're not going to face them all the time, but you are going to face them every now and then. So just keep that in mind when you're actually fighting them. If you do decide to be a tank, of course. You know, if you're not a tank, then do whatever class you're doing. I'm just showing you the way I do it as a tank, you know, myself. So here we are in the next one. I think we had to run this way to get another. Oh, nope, just kidding. Just kidding. So let's get our control on him. Pull him back a little. Now this guy's gonna be a little bit different. Did he just use his limit break? What was that? He used his limit break. Alright. I don't know why he did that. But yeah. Anyways, so this guy's gonna spawn those dudes right there. So he is a little bit different. Only the fact that he spawns enemies. It's not that difficult though. And this guy just blasted our limit break. Why, I don't know. But anyways, let's see. So this one drops a tunic for Disciples of War. I think that's a monk style class. Anyways, and then also drops some gauntlets for tank. So now we're in the next part, and this is goo, which gives you heavy, which makes you run slow. And you're gonna be fighting those things, and those aren't actually enemies, those are pods of flesh. Basically the spider's food. If you could say. Yeah, so the pods, they're not enemies, but they do explode, and they do cause poison damage and regular damage over time. It's not a life or death situation, but they do cast poison. So just be wary. If you have a range attack like unmanned or shield lob, if you're a champion, a champion gladiator. Jesus, can't say it. So just use something to lob at it. You don't necessarily need it. But yeah, alright. Camera angle's bad. So that's out of the way. Yeah, so those flesh pods explode. I'll keep that in mind. Or if you're a tank like me, you could just basically, you can just run through it. It's not gonna do anything to you. But just be in mind they do explode. So if you have like 1 HP, then don't run towards it, because that'll be bad. Oh, there's another one. I didn't see that guy. Thank you, healer, for casting Asuna. If you guys are running Asuna, is basically like a remedy spell, cures poison and other like things like paralysis and stuff. So you'll see that Asuna every now and then. Flesh pod. We got that guy to deal with. Whoa, what? He's not supposed to move. What? That is strange. Those things... What? Those things aren't supposed to move. That threw me off so hard. Oh my god. That's strange. That was really weird. That really threw me off. Anyways, those guys aren't supposed to move. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. So this room has 2 treasure coffers, and I did come in here. What is going on? Those guys aren't supposed to be moving, and now they're moving. Huh. Okay. Odd. Okay. Hey, if it happens in the game, just accept it. That's what I say. So whatever happens, happens. Yeah, let them open that. Are you guys not gonna grab it, seriously? Okay. So there's 2 treasure coffers if you choose this path right here. So let's get back onto the main path. I'm gonna cast Sprint just because this does make you move slow. And Sprint makes you move faster. So we should be nearing the end here. At least relatively close to the end now. Yeah, this, like I said, you're running through a lot of tunnels here, so and that just dragged me towards it. I'm gonna grab this guy over here. Get all these guys. I'm gonna crash Rampart because there's a lot of them. And Rampart basically reduces your damage taken by 20%, if you're wondering. So those guys are taken care of. Now we continue down the path. I'm gonna use Sprint again to move faster. And here we are at the final boss. Alright, so we get right into it. So he's gonna have some flush pods around him. So as usual guys, when you do fight the final boss, get him and face him away your enemies immediately, and just start spamming your skills. Get your full aggro control on them, and sidestep those skills. Cast a web shot basically, and just keep spamming. And keep an eye out, there are going to be some enemies popping up every now and then. Basically you want to get control of it. They do pop. They'll pop right there, like here's one. Get him. Cash that, cash rampart. Side still, oh man, I'm about to run. Alright, there we go. Alright. Casting anticipation now. He's gonna drop a pool of poison. Get out of it, drag him towards you. Oh man. Okay. I thought I lost him for a second. The boss does tend to veer off and attack an enemy. He just missed. Okay. He tends to run off and attack enemies. I mean, not enemies. Attack his enemies, of course, but he attacks your teammates. So don't be afraid all the time, unless you see him like spamming your team. Get that guy's control. Get this one too. I'm gonna cast my ultimatum now, just get full aggro. Now I have everyone around me. Can I stun him? Oh wow, you can stun this guy. Alright, cool. Yeah. So duty is completed. I actually went a lot smoother than my last video. So yeah, so the boss isn't very too difficult. You just gotta know how to move around and get your thing. So this does drop a conjure Keppel weapon. Basically it's a good... Everyone just left. It's a good conjure weapon at this level, so in case you guys were wondering. So yeah, so that was 1000 Maws of Toto-Rak, and that's how you run that dungeon. At least that's the way I do it. It's not a professional way, by far. But anyways, so yeah. And in case you guys were wondering, this is Costa del Sol. This is a little surprise I wanted to show you guys here. One, I wanted to show you that you can swim in this game, and basically how it looks in the game, swimming around this area. It's a nice place to go if you're like hanging out with friends, if you want to just chill in the game. This is an ideal spot, one of my personal favorite spots, only because I love the scenery in this game. And a cool thing you can do is, if you go to your emotions, you can chillax in the water. Yep, your character can float and you do swim. And this is kind of an oxymoron a little bit because I am a Mikote, which is basically people like a cat people, and as we all know, cats are generally do not like water. So yeah. Just a little funny thing that I just want to mention. It's kind of stupid, I know. But anyways, this is Costa del Sol. It's a cool place. You can swim, and you can actually swim fast. You can sprint in the water, which is actually pretty funny and pretty cool that I saw. So it's just kind of a cool thing. It's nothing special, but you know, it's something you can do. Now this is what I really wanted to show you. There's actually a festival going on right now, which is called the Moonfire Festival, and it is in Costa del Sol. Moonfire Fair, I'm sorry, Moonfire Fair Festival. Basically, it's just celebrating an event that happened where the Adventurers Guild created a group and they fought off the Bombards, and that is a shark over there. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. Shark in water. Be warned of sharks in water. So basically, it's a festival about a bunch of adventurers that created a group and fought off the Bombards invading the land. And this is basically the anniversary of it, and you can get some cool stuff. Here, this is Costa del Sol. In case you guys are wondering, this is in eastern La Nazca, the Blood Shore. And here you can purchase some cool stuff from the vendor. They are only 8 gil each, so they're very inexpensive. But what am I doing? I just want to purchase it. So you can get some tracers, basically one for each group, some sparklers, and whatever this is. So yeah, so you can get a couple things, pretty cool stuff, and basically it's just some cool things you can do. They're not necessities. You just go to your inventory and you can use them. Basically fireworks. They're pretty cool. Oh yeah, there's a cooldown. Sorry, my apologies. So here's one. There's some cool things. Nothing crazy. And this is like the big boom one, basically. And then of course some sparklers. Oh yeah, cooldown. Sorry. So yeah, there's some cool stuff, guys. You want to come pick it up, this is where you can get it. And this is the Moonfire Festival. There's some cool fireworks and everything in this game. A lot of things you can do. There's always a festival going on in the game, in case you guys are wondering. But yeah, so that's my little treat for you at the end. In case you guys are already playing this game, if you haven't seen this yet, this is where it's at. This is Costa del Sol. Again, this is Fate. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see me do any other games or any other dungeons, or if you want to break down the Dark Knight a little bit more into you. I'll be more than happy to break down more details about it, as much as I know. I am not a professional. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time.